This reading is for Aries for the month of September 2021. Hello, Aries. So I just went and took a peek at your chart to see what's going on up in the cosmic realms for you this month. And it looks like there's a really bright light shining in your house that governs organization. And you know, sometimes organizing can be fun if you're in the mood, right? Making order out of chaos. There's sort of this message about working smarter rather than harder as well. So I do have to say that on the 6th, we do have a new moon, and it's governed by Virgo, which is excellent for getting organized and getting new systems in place, because that's what the new moon is about, right? Is starting something that sort of comes to fruition over the rest of the month. Okay, let's see what forces are supporting you this month. Wow, this is now a double message in a way about getting organized. This can mean many things, but this energy is very strong. And what is supporting you is sticking to a long-term vision. It doesn't matter if you sometimes get off your path and go over here, take a little meander here. We're not robots, but with the Chariot around, that energy that supports you is very much a long-term goal energy, and doing whatever it is that you need to do. And Aries, that could include organizing this month to achieve that goal. It's very powerful, and it's nice to have that on your side. Interesting. The energies, excuse me, that are somewhat challenging this month are actually usually a really positive card. So it still is positive, right? But I would say, looking at this, to have the Ace of Cups as a challenge card, that could mean that maybe for some of you who have started or have been hoping to start a new relationship, especially with this energy, maybe it's not proceeding exactly as you wanted. Or on another level, this could be you're so involved in a new relationship that you're sort of losing track of what's going on in your life. Luckily, you can pull on some of that Chariot energy to help get you back in line if you need it, to sort of get anchored back into the real world and get done what you need to have done. I will say, though, outside of the realm of like romance, sometimes what this is calling attention to is your sense of love for yourself. So I would say, when I'm looking at these energies combined, make sure that you're giving yourself credit this month for things that you have achieved. You know, life isn't easy, and lots of times we've just been trained or have a natural tendency to be really hard on ourselves. And this is like, no, your challenge this month is self-love, okay? So just definitely pay some attention to your own inner world and your health, okay? Okay, let's see what other information the cards have for the Aries this month. So just a heads up that on the 27th, Mercury goes retrograde. Yay, that's not really going to affect this month too much. It'll be mostly in October, the first 2.5 weeks of October. So I'll be addressing that with my next reading for October. But you will start to feel it towards the end of the month. So try and get anything done that you need to get done before the 27th. Oh, this is fascinating. I have done another reading this month that had this exact same combination in the exact same place, and I don't remember what sign it was, but when this comes up, especially right in the center of a reading, this is saying that there definitely is something in your world that really needs to be looked at and very possibly released, okay? And this combination is really strong because it really is almost giving you some choices of, if you're dealing with something that's challenging, you pretty much with this card have three choices, right? Which is either accept it, because that will release tension. If you just accept something that you can't change, and you just got to accept it, right? If you can't accept it, then you've got to change it, right? And if you can't change it, then you probably have to leave it. And the place where you don't want to stay too long is not being able to accept a situation, not being able to change it, and not being able to leave it. At some point, you've got to make a decision, or else you'll get drained. And, the push here is for transformation. So, since this is a general reading for Aries, if this speaks to you, if you know exactly what I'm talking about for you, then this message is really meant for those Aries who know what I'm talking about. If you're really having to dig deep in there and try and figure out what it is that I'm talking about, then it may just be something minor that you need to deal with, not something major along these lines. I mean, maybe, I don't know, maybe it's time to take a break from a food group or something. I don't know. All right, let's keep going. Ooh, this is awesome. That works really, really well with the Chariot card. So this approaching energy is lovely. It really talks about when you start working on something that you are really excited about and you're willing to invest in it without getting an immediate return. This is saying keep going for it, especially with that Chariot card, okay? Because your outcome is like amazing. It literally says if you keep pursuing something that you've been trying to achieve, the outcome is this amazing combination of earthbound pentacles and then double sixes, meaning you will finally get grounded in what it is that you want, and it's going to feel like a relief. You're going to be like, finally, I'm in a better place. Sixes are always landing someplace after going through a difficult time. So Aries, this is an excellent omen for this month. Now, what's very interesting too is that a lot of this is going to be based on the work that you've done and the reputation that you've built. You are going to be recognized for your worth by somebody or an organization, and things are just going to get better. You may not have reached your goal totally yet, but you will be sailing into smoother waters. Again, this message, like the earlier message about self-care and giving yourself credit, this is like doubly supported by this energy in your outcome, which is sort of about giving yourself credit for what you've achieved, and now it's almost time to reap the harvest. In fact, you can probably start, experiencing some of the benefits already if you wanted to. Or you just might want to let some things sit to grow in value. When it comes to love this month, first of all, we have a Pisces full moon, which is going to be very emotional. And then we also have, like I said, a retrograde coming that's really going to be activated in Libra, which means some of you may be having an old love come back. And you may want to figure out what to deal with that. Or you may just have someone on your mind from the past a lot, and you may have to decide whether you want to reach out. But outside of that, there is this other energy that's really strong for relationships in Aries this month, which is literally the investment that you're putting into your love relationships in particular, and relationships in general, is really important. You need to be mindful because, when we move into the future, you're basically building foundations for the future with somebody. Whether you're in a long-term relationship or a new relationship, just really let that other person know what you really feel, how much you care about them, and that should have some excellent results for you in love this month. For those of you who maybe are getting out of a difficult relationship, I can also see this here because sometimes this is a release of a relationship, and this also tends to be the release of a relationship because it was difficult. Please know that if that is happening to you this month, you are going to be blessed with healing, because at the end, again, you have these beautiful double sixes that always represent feeling much better after a really difficult time period. So things are going to get better for you. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please subscribe and give me a thumbs up, and I will be checking back in with you in October. Like I said, Mercury is going retrograde on the 27th, so make sure that you try and wrap things up before then, and because you're not going to want to try and move forward during those 3 weeks after the 27th. All right, you take care.